Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Danny Alvarez here, Alvarez Jiu Jitsu in Arlington, Texas. And today I just kind of wanted to talk about a little story real quick. Kind of cool little story with the kids. You know, I do Jiu Jitsu obviously, and so I get to see you know, a lot of things that happen to a lot of people. I've been talking about that lately, and so you know, I get to see the good days and the bad days, not only with myself but with other people, and with their personal lives, and then also out on the mat, you know, in jiu-jitsu. And you know, there's a saying in jiu-jitsu, you know, sometimes you're the hammer, you know, you're smashing, you're killing it, you're putting in the work, you know, you're having a good day. Then some days, you know, you're the nail, so you're the one getting hammered on. And then some days it's just horrific, it's horrible, things just really aren't going your way, nothing's clicking, like every round sucks, and you're the board, you know, you're just getting smashed. So to me, that's what jiu-jitsu teaches you. It gives you that kind of wins and losses and stuff like that, like every time you step on the mat, like every single day. And if you're not doing anything like what we're doing every day, you know, you don't really taste defeat that often. If you're not really like a competitor, you're not really doing anything, you're just kind of going to work, you're kind of going through your day-to-day motions. You know, you go home after work, you get something to eat, maybe play with your kids or something, watch a little TV, go to bed, and it's that repetitive thing. But when you come into jiu-jitsu class, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's very challenging. It's a great workout. You get to meet some great people, but there's no doubt about it. You know, you can have some rough days on the mat, and not where like you're getting injured or anything like that, but to the point where, you know, you're trying to get your game to work, get your techniques to work in your favor, and no matter how hard you try or how long you've been drilling or working on a specific move or certain thing, you know, certain days when you come in, it's just not happening. It's just not going to work for you. Whoever you're rolling with, it just might be their day. Everything's clicking for them and nothing's clicking for you. And you know, like I said, some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail, some days you're the board. You know, well, Monday. It's a quick little story. It's a cute little story. You know, obviously I have a kids program for all those awesome parents out there. But I have a young girl. She's 8 years old. Monday she kind of had a rough day. She kind of was getting a little roughhouse on the mat a little bit, but also she just, you know, the rounds weren't going in her favor. So you know, it wasn't really a good day for her on the mat. But yesterday she came back for the second class. And then after class, you know, her mom reached out to me and was like, her confidence, her self-esteem was a lot better, because when she came off the mat, and I don't know if it was on the way home or where it was at, or if it was still here in the school, but you know, she told her mom that she put the Hulk smash down, or the baby smash, Hulk smash down on her teammates. Not in a bad way. She's not like really bragging, but obviously if you're having a bad day the day before, you know, and then your parents bring you back again the next day, you know, you don't know how that's going to turn out. Maybe 2 bad days in a row. But she came back to class, and you know, all her rounds went in her favor. She comes off the mat. She's feeling really good, and you know, that makes the parent feel good. That makes the mom feel good. You know, the kid's feeling good, and I feel like that's the real power of jiu-jitsu. You know, yeah, you're learning the self-defense and you're getting in shape and that whole thing, but when you're having a rough day on the mat or a rough day at work, and then you got to come in here, and then you know, whatever, you know, this is kind of supposed to be like a reset button or whatever, but sometimes, you know, whatever is happening outside of here, you carry it in to the mat. Maybe you're having a rough day at school, you come in here, maybe you're tired. You know, some of these kids, you know, they get waking up for a nap, and parents are like, hey, it's time to go to jiu-jitsu class. They come in, the eyes are all puffy, they're crying, they don't want to do class because they were waking up from their nap, and then now they gotta train jiu-jitsu, and you know, someone's imposing their will on them, and putting their game on them, and it might not just work out in their favor. Well, that's what jiu-jitsu is. You're gonna, no matter how bad it gets, you learn how to fight back. You learn how to say enough is enough. You know, that's enough of the beatings. That's enough of me taking these kind of L's, these losses like that, and you learn how to eventually say, you know what, it's time to get back in the game, time to fight back. So, you know, it makes me feel good as a coach that that's what this program is doing for these kids, you know, these teens, these adults, that this is what it teaches you. It's what it's supposed to teach you if you stick with it long enough, if you hang in there long enough. Because some people do. It's just the honest truth. Like some people, you know, some of you might even be watching right now. You might be that one that just started and you quit too soon because it just wasn't going your way the way you thought it was going to go your way, and say, oh, you know, it's not for me. You know, I'm going to go do something else. But for those ones that stick it out, like this, you know, 8-year-old girl, I think she's 8. You know, she's been training for a while now, and you know, I've watched her grow. I watched her come out of her shell a little bit. Super nice, polite, respectful young lady. You know, and just, you know, she doesn't seem like she has really an aggressive bone in her body, but you know, her parents got her in jiu-jitsu class, and these other kids got, like, you know, they're a little more aggressive than she is, and they're trying to impose their game and, you know, their will on her. And, you know, some days it's just not a good day. And then obviously yesterday, something clicked, something happened, something inside of her must have said, you know what, not today. Not today. It's not going down like that today. So whoever she was rolling with yesterday, you know, she put the Hulk smash on them. And, you know, her mom asked her, you know, what does that mean? What does the Hulk smash mean? She said, well, I chicken winged everyone. And for those that are on here that don't know, familiar with jiu-jitsu, it's a submission hold. You know, it involves the arm and the shoulder. Some people call it the Americana. We refer to it as a chicken wing. But basically, she got a lot of submissions yesterday, and it all went her way, all went her favor. She walks off the mat, head held high, chest up, feeling good. And to me, that's the true power of jiu-jitsu. Is to take someone at 8 years old or 9 years old or any of these young kids and give them that self of empowerment that really nothing else can really give you. You know, again, this is an art. It's a martial art where someone else is trying to impose their will on you, and it's not like boxing or, you know, like I guess like some of the other stand-up arts where a referee comes in and breaks you apart, like once the clinch happens. Here, once the clinch happens, like that's it. It keeps going. Like that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the clinch to happen, and then the jiu-jitsu starts. Then the match really starts. So once you get taken down and someone's on top of you and your face is all in the mat, and you know they're heavy and you can't get them off you, you're trying everything you can, and things just aren't going your way, you still hang in there and come back the next day and do good the next day. That starts to build. Those little victories, those small victories start to add up to big ones. And as this, you know, young lady will get older, she's only going to get stronger mentally, you know, and if the parents, which I know they will keep them coming, because some parents are guilty of, you know, pulling their kids out too soon. You know, it's hard for a parent to at least here, because we have the monitors, the screens, you're not really sitting on the edge of the mat like some academies, to watch another child sit on top of your child and impose their game and do all kind of submissions to them, and then watching your kid have to tap. You know, it's kind of tough to watch. You know, I have a daughter. She competes. For those that know Danielle, you know, that's tough for me. You know, she has her share of wins and she has her share of losses, and when she loses, it's, you know, or things aren't really going her way out on the mat. You know, no matter what you do, or how bad you want to go out and help them, you just can't. They got to do it. They got to handle it by themselves, and that's the way life is. That's just the way life is, and to me, that's the way jiu-jitsu transfers into life. Is because at the end of the day, when you're at work and your child's at school and someone's picking on them, or maybe they get older and, you know, you're just not around, you know, they have to they have to stick up for themselves. They have to fend for themselves and fight back. It might not be a bully, it might be just anything. You know, life might just be weighing down on them, and they have to know that, hey, you know, I've been in some bad situations before, and I know I can come back from this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Where if you're not in a situation where, like what we're doing with jiu-jitsu, for the kids that aren't, or even the adults, you know, when it rains, it pours, and you're not used to having that much pressure come on top of you, as far as, you know, the way life throws things your way. People break, they fold, You know, they just want to be by themselves. They want to isolate themselves. They don't want to be bothered. Other things start to fall apart. And that's just not the way life works, man. You know, and to me, that's the power of jiu-jitsu in here. You know, earlier this morning, one of the adults at the 6 a.m. class said, "Hey, coach, you know, can you show me this? Can you show me that? Because so-and-so is just kicking my butt today." And it takes a lot for an individual to do that, because they're letting go of the ego and the pride, and they're coming forth to say, "Hey, I need help. How can you help me with this?" Which I can. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm the coach. I have the answers. I've been in those positions before, and I can help an individual. And so that individual, like I told him the same story that I'm telling you guys now, that, hey, you got good days, you're going to have these bad days. No matter how bad and how competitive we are, no matter how bad we want every day to be good, it's just not going to turn out that way. And jiu-jitsu helps give us that fight, puts that fight in us, to where whenever things don't go right, you know, we know that we've been in some really tough spots. Because if you can get out of the situations that are out there on the mat when someone's on top of you trying to submit you and impose their will on you, you know, you can handle just about anything. So you become mentally stronger through the process of jiu-jitsu. And so to watch the kids and the teens and the adults change throughout the time that they're here and get better mentally is just an awesome thing for me as a coach. You know, so for anyone out there, you know, that's looking for just different kind of challenge, or looking for a way to just kind of help with a situation like that, jiu-jitsu is it. You know, again, that's why I've been in it so long. I've been in it for over 20 years. I've never taken a break, besides the small, you know, the injuries that I've had. But it's a very challenging, frustrating, fun martial art. Like, I don't know how all that stuff works together. Like, I don't know any other art where you're just kind of like appreciative of someone kind of just giving you the business, you know. I know I appreciate when my students give me the business, because it's helping me. Where some people kind of take that the wrong way and they don't really grow from it. But for me, as long as I've been in jiu-jitsu, I've learned that that's what it's supposed to teach me. It's supposed to teach me and humble me and give me that sense to, like, hey, you know, no matter how good I get, I can still have a bad day. I can still be beaten on any given day. Just whatever I won in the past, that was in the past. Because every time I shake hands with someone else on the mat, whatever I did in the past doesn't matter. So jiu-jitsu gives us that. It gives us that good days and bad days. That helps build that mental toughness. I just feel like, again, I played all kind of sports. I've played basketball, baseball. You know, I wrestled. You know, wrestling is obviously another great one that's going to kind of give you that. But when someone's submitting you, you know, wrestling, you know, I was pinned on my back, which that's tough. No one wants to get pinned. But when you're getting submitted, and you got to tap or say tap, tap. It's like saying uncle, like when you're a kid and someone's like giving you some noogies, you know, and you're like, uncle, 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 say uncle. That's basically what we have to say out there. You're saying uncle, you know, or for the, you know, my movie fans out there, Bloodsport, you got to say Mate, you know, and say, hey, that's it. You know, and I made a reference to that the other day. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't know what that means, so it just kind of shows my age or whatever, but it's all good. So anyways, just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. For those that are new to jiu-jitsu or just starting out, you got to hang in there and use these losses to kind of help build up those wins. You got to take these little small victories that you have in there, build them up, and eventually they'll turn into big victories. And again, for those parents, you're looking for something for your kids that's going to give them that mental toughness, that's going to be able to take something like this, give them a bad day, you know, and then the next day be able to have the courage to come back in and fight back against the same person that smashed them the day before, and walk out with their head held high. You know, that's just some priceless stuff. You know, you can't really put a price on that, you know. So just kind of want to share that with you guys today. Again, that's life. That's the way it's going to be. That's jiu-jitsu. That's the way it's going to be. It does get a little easier. It does get better, but it's always going to be tough. And depending on what day it is, you just never know. Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail, and some days you're the board, you know. And jiu-jitsu gives us the power to be able to understand that and handle that, you know. So just wanted to share that awesome story with you guys. So if any of you guys out there that are doing jiu-jitsu, it's a little rough for you right now, hang in there, ask some questions to your coach. If you're training with me, come ask me questions, and you know, get those answers and just stay in there, because on the other side of those pains there are some big rewards there. And again, I've seen too many people quit too early where they didn't reap. They went through all that pain. You know, there's a motivational speaker, his name's Eric Thomas. You know, he's like, hey, you know, you're already in pain, get a reward from it. So that's the way I think about things. Like, you know, I done went through all this, I gotta get some rewards from it, you know, so I'm not gonna quit. I wanna know what that victory or what those wins taste like on the other side of all this pain and this frustration that I'm going through. So whatever it is you're going through out there right now, you know, it's gonna get better, and you know, you just gotta hang in there and just stay tough. But you also need something that's gonna kind of help build that, and jiu-jitsu definitely does that for you. So you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you guys next time.